And then 5 minutes later, I was like, the heck with it. Let's go ahead and do a set of bench presses. So I just threw 135 that's on the bar here and cranked out a few reps, went back to what I was doing before. And because I've been listening to the podcast, taking some notes every time something interesting pops up, right? And so I went back to what I was doing. And then, sure enough, 2 minutes later, I get the urge to go and do another set. So I go and do another set. And this brings me to my first point. Hey guys, Aaron Kubitz, personal trainer, functional aesthetics EC, helping average guys gain muscle, shed fat, and perform better in their lives inside and outside the gym. In today's video, I want to share a personal perspective on 3 different training principles. Oftentimes, perspective or mindset hacks can be just as effective as the actual data of the how-to of training. So in today's video, I want to convey these 3 principles through a personal experience of bench pressing. So for about the past year or so, for various different reasons, I haven't really done any benching. I've done maybe 1 set per month on average of bench presses, maybe in passing, just hop on there, crank out a couple reps or something, but not actually doing any dedicated bench press or direct chest workouts. Okay? And so I woke up this morning, Sunday morning, and was feeling worn out, groggy, tired, not feeling like doing much of anything. And this is kind of to be expected. I work most days of the week, and so by about the time Sunday rolls around, I'm not feeling too motivated mentally or physically to do anything. Nonetheless, I'm not one who likes to just kind of sit around and waste time. I will perhaps watch a little bit of movies or something, sometimes just sit in stillness and contemplate life. But at a certain point, I got to get up and move around or do some reading or do some research or do something to be active either mentally or physically. So my typical daily routine at this current time in my life involves about 20 to 30 minutes of reading every morning. This allows a little bit of time while I'm waking up and before my body has got online and I feel like being more active to get a little good information into my system to help expand my knowledge, expand my awareness, right? Sometimes in the evening, you're too tired after a long day of work, and once the day gets going, especially for me, I don't like sitting still any more than I have to. I got the projects that I have to do for my business, but other than that, I want to be doing active things during the day. Sitting down and reading something when I have physical energy is not the most effective path for doing that. So as I said, this morning I was actually feeling mentally and physically burnt out. I had worked all day the day before. I'd actually done a bunch of reading the evening on Saturday evening, so I woke up this morning and I just felt like sitting around doing nothing. But I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, I had some sinus congestion. I was feeling dried out, just wasn't feeling that great. And so I figured that I probably needed to do a little bit of something. And so I started out, instead of reading, because again I was mentally tired, putting in my earbuds, because it was early in the morning. My wife is not up yet, didn't want to disturb her, so put in some earbuds, started listening to one of my favorite podcasts to start jogging my mind, getting a little bit of beneficial input in for the day. Sure enough, a few minutes after that, I have this thought run through my head. Hey, I want to do some bench pressing, right? But then the next thought that came through my head was, nah, you know what? You're tired, you're worn out, maybe wait until tomorrow after you've had a little bit of chance to rest a little bit, and maybe you'll feel a little bit better and you'll have a better workout. But if you're anything like I am, if there is a topic of interest to you, even if you're tired or something, or if you have a passing thought about it, I'm the kind of guy where I can watch a video of somebody else working out and then get inspired to be like, hey, I want to go and work out myself. I'll get the itch to go and work out. Even if I've already had my workout for the day, I still feel like going and doing another workout if I see a really inspiring video. So had this thought go through my head, let's bench press. And then I was like, nah, let's not bench press. You're feeling kind of crappy today. Let's not do it. So I went back to listening to my video or to my podcast episode. And then 5 minutes later, I was like, the heck with it. Let's go ahead and do a set of bench presses. So I just threw 135 that's on the bar here and cranked out a few reps, went back to what I was doing before. And because I've been listening to the podcast, taking some notes every time something interesting pops up, right? And so I went back to what I was doing, and then, sure enough, 2 minutes later, I get the urge to go and do another set. So I go and do another set. And this brings me to my first point, which is go by how the bar is moving. This is the first principle of this video. Go by how the bar is moving. Okay? You don't want to use subjective measures like feelings. Like you could be like, I had a headache today. I had a long day at work. I'm feeling tired. I woke up this morning. I'm feeling dried out, have a stuffy nose, and just generally feeling unmotivated and tired, right? You don't want to use any of those subjective measurements to determine the action that you take in life. What you do want to use is the objective measures. How much weight am I moving when I'm running or when I'm lifting? If I'm running, how fast am I moving? Am I going substantially slower than I usually would? Am I lifting substantially less weight than I normally would? How fast is the bar traveling up and down? And if you're a very serious lifter, they actually have things you can actually put on the bar that will actually measure the bar speed. So it's really completely objective. You can say, okay, how fast is this bar moving? Because actually some days you might be feeling, well, I feel pretty good. I'm just going to do this particular workout even though it's my rest day or whatever. And if you look at that bar speed and it's actually going slower than normal, then it's probably a good idea to take a rest day if it's substantially lower. So sure enough today, that is exactly what happened. Long story short, I ended up doing about 10 total sets of bench presses, which is the most bench pressing I've done in a single workout for probably about a year now. And of course, I was much weaker than I used to be. I think I only topped out at 185. I did 4 sets of 2 with 185, which I used to do 10 reps in a single set with 185. So it was a lot weaker, but that's to be expected. There would be no reason to go to the gym and work out or to train or to do anything if you are naturally always that strong or always that developed. You go and you work on it, you practice the thing to get better at doing it. So the next point I want to make is that a little bit later on in the day, actually while I was writing up the script for this video, I needed to take a little bit of a break and move around. So this principle was not going to be originally included in the video, but I thought I would add it in just because it's a salient point. So I got up and I was like, you know what, I'm going to just hop down, do a couple push-ups or something like that, just get the blood pumping, sit back down, and do a little bit more work. Well, did the push-ups, and I can't remember a time when I've actually been sore the day of a workout. It usually comes a day or two after, or delayed onset muscle soreness, right? After my workout. But I had not trained bench press for so long that when I went to do this, I felt literally every muscle fiber in my chest and my shoulders while I was doing this, and it was actually mildly painful in my muscles while I was doing it, simply because I was just so sore. Now, this got me to thinking how a lot of guys will come to me and they'll say, man, I feel so sore after a workout. How can I not feel sore? How you cannot feel sore is by working out more consistently. Because when I'm working out consistently, I can literally and I don't do this very often, because you don't need to work out to absolute failure in order to build muscle or increase strength, right? But from time to time I will. If I'm feeling really good, I will take it where I actually have to bail on the last set of every exercise in my workout. And I can do that and an hour later feel fine and not feel sore the next day at all. Because my muscles are consistently doing this kind of thing, and you get to a point where you can push yourself to your max and still not feel sore the next day. So the soreness is more of an indicator that you're not doing that activity enough, so it's a novel stimulus for you, rather than an indicator that you are doing too much. So the principle here is to do the thing that is needed to get where you want to go and continue doing it until you move beyond that initial discomfort stage, so that you can get to the point where it's fun, enjoyable, and exciting to do the work, and you start to look forward to going into the gym, and your muscles are actually itching. I actually get to this point where I don't have to actually, if I've been doing a workout for a while, a particular workout program for a while, I don't have to look and see what am I supposed to be doing today. My body will tell me that. It'll be like, oh, yep, I'm feeling that itch. My back wants to do some rows today. Or, yep, feeling that itch. My legs want to do some squats today. And I'll just know intuitively that's what I need to be doing because my body has gotten that rhythm of doing it. So move beyond that point of initial discomfort till you get to the point where your body actually starts to crave the exercise. And now the last point is here that a fallacy that is still pretty prevalent is that if I got really sore, that means I had a really good workout. And that should have been answer to the previous point that no, when you are in good shape, you will rarely ever feel sore unless you completely change up your workout and do something completely new, or if you have like a week where you don't really work out that much and then you come back and you work out, then you might get sore in those first couple of workouts. But when you're consistently working out, you're not going to get sore. It's just a novel stimulus. So soreness is not a good indicator of whether or not you had a good or effective workout. All right, guys, that concludes the video. There wasn't a lot of brand new, earth-shattering information in this video. A lot of old principles, but a different perspective. And as I said at the beginning of the video, sometimes perspective is just as useful as the what to do. The mindset and the psychology behind doing the thing and how to get yourself to do the thing is often just as useful as knowing what to do. Because a lot of people know what they should do, and yet they don't do it because of a perception behind what is the feedback that they're getting from their body, right? Oh, I'm getting really sore, maybe I'm pushing too hard, right? When in actuality, what you should do, one of the best ways to get rid of soreness, is to go and do that exercise the next day or do some cardio or something at a lower intensity just to pump blood through there, get the oxygen and the nutrients to there, it'll help you recover faster, and do some stretching and stuff to help that recover faster, rather than avoiding doing that or saying, oh, I pushed myself too hard because I got sore. No, it's more so that you weren't consistent enough with doing that thing to begin with, and that's why you got sore. So sometimes this perspective can help us to get better results, even though it's not new data, new things like that. The best workout that you do is the one that you actually do. And sometimes the barrier for us to go ahead and do these workouts or to do the things that we know we're supposed to be doing is something that's going on in our mind. So hopefully these perspectives that I shared with you today go by how the bar is moving, not by how you're thinking, by how you're feeling, right? Number two is muscle soreness is not an indication that you should stop what you're doing. And number three, muscle soreness is not an indication that you had a really effective or a good workout. It's more of an indication that you have not been consistent enough. All right, guys, if you appreciate this insight, if you like more people to see it, go ahead and engage with this by leaving a comment in the comment section below or hitting the like button. And we'll see you all next time for more health and fitness information.